Hello everyone, I'm back today with another process video. This one is going back to 6x8 pocket pages. I finished all of my photos from Edinburgh, but now I'm moving on to Glasgow. So these pictures actually are from the train ride that we took between Edinburgh and Glasgow. It's only about 50 minutes by train. So we decided we would just keep our hotel in Edinburgh the whole time and then we would just go to Glasgow by train since it was less than an hour each way, and it worked out very well. So if you're ever in Scotland and you're looking to go between those two cities, that is a great option. So I have all these photos, and in this one, my daughter is wearing a shirt that has pink on it. And I knew I had this rail pass thing and it was pink. And so I'm like, oh, that's perfect. I can use it for our train ride. The problem was figuring out how am I going to work pink into the rest of it because there is some photos, or are some photos of the countryside between the cities that we obviously saw from the train, but nothing was really pink. So I thought, well, I'm just going to try my best here. So I think what I'm going to do is I picked out this 3x4 card. I saved a receipt from when we grabbed some coffee in the train station while we were waiting to board our train. And then I do have this little pink label. So I think I'm going to use it on this photo here of this stadium that we passed. The other thing that I have to work with here is I want to do flips, and I actually need two. Rather than go to a second layout for this, which I didn't think I needed, I'd rather do some flips. So this will actually flip over. So I've got to find a 4x6 card that's going to go on the back of this. So you'll flip, you'll see the card, and then you'll see this. And I have a stack of 4x6 cards here that are all travel themed or could be used in a travel form. So I will have to go through there and see what I can find. And then on this side, the flip will be here. At least that's how I'm thinking it'll go. So you'll flip up the houses. And I think I'm going to do the rail pass on this side. And then the bottom will be some journaling. So that's my current plan. Once I start working, that may change. Some of it or all of it may change. You never know. But that's my plan, at least at the start. So far, I adhered the receipt to the card. And I have to say, notice the total here, $5.90, that's pounds, for two mochas. That's about $7.70, maybe 75 cents in US dollars. That would probably get you one large in the United States. So I was kind of pleased that we were able to get two mochas for $5.90. And then the other thing that I did was I stamped on the label that I'm going to use on this photo. So now I have to adhere it, and then I'm going to put just a little staple in it. So I will do that quickly. Make sure I have it going the right direction here. Oops, a little bit more. There. So I'm going to put it up to the left edge, like maybe about there. There we go, that looks good. And I'm just going to cut off the excess here. Whoop. All right. And then I'm going to put in the small staple. There. All right. So that's done. Now I have to figure out which card is going to go here between these two. And then I have to work on the flip that's going to be on this side, but making progress. So when I was going through my 4x6 cards, look what I happened to find in my stash. All I need is my camera and coffee, which is so well fitted for this. It's kind of crazy because guess what? It's blue like the background. It's got pink like these elements, and we actually bought coffee. And clearly I'm taking pictures. It all works, meant to be. So can't use anything but that. And then I adhered the rail pass onto this card, and I decided I'm going to do some pen work here, just do some outlining because it seems a little too flat, like there's no crisp border here. So I think I am going to do that quickly just to give it a little bit more definition. So I'm just going to take my Zig pen, and this is an 03, so it's fairly fine. It's I have a set of 5, and this one is right in the middle. I don't want it too thick. Oops, there's a little bump in the card there. There we go. Or in the rail pass, not the card, it was the rail pass. And at first I wasn't sure what I would think of this being vertical rather than horizontal, because obviously it's meant to be read this way. But you know what? When you're using pocket pages and you're kind of locked into one particular orientation, you make it work. So I decided I'm just going to do it vertically, leave it, and be okay with it. So now that one is going to go on the back side of this. So I do still need to find a journaling card for this pocket. So that is my next task. Picking up where I left off, I've now put these pictures and items into the pockets. I did decide to add this little element that I have, and this was just a digital file, a page full of travel elements, so I just cut it out, and I did decide to ink around the edge just because it looked too flat against the sky. It definitely needed a border there, so I did do that. And then this is the flip that I'm going to use. Now when I'm doing a page like this where I have a 4x6 against here, I like to do the flip on this side so that it opens this way, because if I did it like this, I would have to wrap around the adhesive part to the other side. And while I, have to do that sometimes on upper pockets, whether they're going to go up, or down, it just feels more distracting on a 4x6 to go this way when there's nothing opening on this side. So I choose to go this way. Plus then the adhesive part sits in the gutter here, which is far less distracting to the eye. So I adhere this, it does cover up the hole, but I just punch another hole and then it's good to go. So I'm going to attach that right now so you can see how it's done, and then I will punch the hole to make it fit the 3-ring binder. So these are the flips that actually come from Simple Stories. Now, I'm using an Echo Park book. This is an Echo Park page protector. This is a Stampin' Up! Page protector, but the holes all match. So it all works together. But this is a flip that actually is made by Simple Stories to go with their line of products, but it works with all of these. So that's kind of nice that they're mostly universal and that everything will line up. So speaking of lining up, I just want to get the pocket as close as I can to the one that's underneath it before I press down on the adhesive. And then I'm going to press down. Oh, I did mention too that sometimes the adhesive part here will stick out a little bit past the page protector. I just cut that off. Actually, I think I want somewhat nicer scissors here. There we go. So it won't hurt anything because the adhesive is already on there. So I just trim right up to the edge of the pocket gutter like that. There you go. Oh, I didn't get it quite even, did I? No, it looks like it is. Oh, that's pretty good. All right, so I don't have to redo that. Good. Okay, and then I take my Crop-A-Dile, and I already have it set to the punch that I need. I use the 3/16. The 1/8 would be too small, so I'm using my 3/16 size, and I can clearly see there's the hole that I need for the ring, so I'm just going to punch, and then I have the new hole ready to go. So it takes a little bit of work to make a flip like that happen, but it's worth it in the end. So now that we've done that, I can put away my Crop-A-Dile tool and then move on to this side. When I was first designing this at the start of the video, I thought that I was going to use this picture on top. But because I have, you know, a building here, I decided not to do that. I'm actually going to put the rail pass on top. So when I add in the flip, it's going to go up like this, and you'll see the houses there in the background. And then look what I found in my stash for the journaling card. Perfect. Now, if I had this and this next to each other, either here or on the flip, like if this, let's go the other way. If I went this way, I think this is too much pink next to each other. But if the rail passes on top and then the photo, I think that breaks up the pink enough where when you flip, this is what you're going to see. So I think that'll work. So I'm not going to do my journaling on this. I have to really think about what I want to say, but I can do the other parts. So I do need to have a 3x4 flip for this pocket, which I will get. So these are what they look like in the package. So it'll just say 3x4 pocket, or sorry, 3x4 photo flips, and you get 12. So these are quite economical. I think, I don't know, I think I paid maybe $4. Not sure. I've ordered them online and I've gotten them in person from a craft store that's about an hour away from me. And both ways, they were reasonably priced, but you do get quite a few in there. And if you're doing pocket pages a lot, it's totally worth it. All right, so this one, I am going to have this one flip up. So I need to go that way. Okay, so this needs to be, can't separate it, there we go, on top. And it's always important to check your orientation. So if I want this to flip up, then this has to go this way, which if you look at it like that, looks like it's upside down, but it won't be when you do this. And then this one will go in this pocket. And I'm going to adhere this, but I'll still have access to getting out that card to journal, because when this is up, this part is still open. It doesn't seal this shut by any means, so I'll still be able to get to that. So I'm going to adhere this so that you can see the process for that. It's pretty easy, but you just peel off the adhesive like with the other ones. Line it up as best you can. Now, the only thing I have noticed with these, and I mentioned this in a previous video, is that while the 4x6 seemed very nicely sized, their 3x4s tend to be a little bit bigger than the pocket, and I think it's because of the seam here shows up more when you're going this direction as opposed to this direction. So it will overlap a slight bit, as you can kind of see there. If that irks you, you might have to get over it, or you can try to see if there's another brand that's a little bit better. What I tend to do is I will shift over just a little because it still covers the card, and then it's not hanging over the edge quite as much. Whoop, let's get it straight. There we go. But there will be a slight difference. So if you're super type A, you know, that might bother you. Now, what you can do carefully, again, is trim that off a little, but do be careful. So you can see there it is, hanging out just a little bit on the side. You don't want to go too much because you don't want to wreck the seam here. So I'm going to cut it, but I'm going to then start to angle just a bit, like so. That doesn't bother me in particular, but if it bothers you, you don't have to do that. Once it's in the album and I'm flipping pages, I won't notice this, and I seriously doubt anyone else will. So then it's a little bit more even. It didn't disrupt the seaming on the pocket, and it still serves its function. So I think this layout is actually done because I took care of all the things on this side. The flip is attached here. This side, I don't think I'm going to do anything with that photo because I have this here. I don't really want to add another one, and I find it very picturesque, just kind of an old weather building. And then this is attached, so I think this one is good to go. So hope you enjoyed watching how I do the flips and then making the hole in the page protector so it'll work in the binder and then putting it all together. So thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.